report incidents when they occur or when you think they might occur. As we've just explained to you, given you many examples, cyber criminals are very creative and very persistent. And then the mantra that we use these days is that it's not a matter of if you will get breached, your organization. It's a matter of when it will happen, because it pretty much is going to happen to everyone at a certain point. So what does that mean when we say we want to report incidents, right? Well, here are some ways to do that, and here's how to know when to respond, right? So let's say you get an email that you pretty strongly suspect is a phishing email. You may have looked at the red flags and you identified it and you said, yep, this is a phishing attack, right? You could just delete that email, right? Great, you are safe. But remember, I told you they're going to send out tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of these emails. And if you got one, there is a good chance someone else in your organization will get one. And so you really, instead of just deleting it, you really do need to report it. So how do you report it? Well, the most common way that we like is, use the built-in tools, use the report phishing button, or if you don't have one, let your IT team know. And here are just some examples, right? If you're in Microsoft Outlook and if you use Microsoft Office 365 services, in your ribbon, you should see a button that says report message, and you can click the little drop down arrow, and then it'll say, okay, what are you reporting? Is it junk? Is it phishing? Or is it not junk and you thought it was, I thought it was junk and you want to correct it, right? This is really important. I've had clients ask me, does that really do any good, right? Does it benefit me? Does it benefit my organization any if I report this as phishing? And the answer to that question is absolutely 100% yes. Microsoft processes billions of emails every day, and they take the telemetry from all of those emails to put defenses in place in real time. So let's imagine in your organization, there was a mass phishing attack, and you have 100 people in your organization, and 5 people marked a particular email as phishing within a short period of time. Like within half an hour, 5 people from your organization identified it as phishing, right? Microsoft's analytics is going to go look carefully at that email and maybe affirm or confirm that they think it is phishing. And not only will they block it in the future, they will go into the mailboxes of all 97 other employees in your company, and they'll take that email out, right? So if enough people in your organization identify something as phishing, Microsoft will proactively remove that email from everyone else's mailbox. Gmail offers some similar features, right? If you're just in a web browser and you're doing Gmail, right? Gmail also has a report phishing function, although I can't speak to what kind of proactive actions Google might take compared to what Microsoft might take. So if you get a phishing email, you need to report it, use the report phishing button. If you think you've been compromised, right? And this does happen, by the way, we will have clients call us up or put in a ticket saying, oh my goodness, I got this email. It was an invoice. I thought I needed to pay it. I clicked on it. I gave them my credentials. And then I thought better of it. I looked at it again, and then I realized it was phishing, right? Because report it immediately. Every minute counts. And the bad guys are smart, right? They will send this attack at 5 o'clock on an afternoon, hoping to breach somebody, and then at a bare minimum have all night to do lateral attacks. Sometimes they'll send them on a Friday afternoon, right at 5 o'clock, because they want to have the whole weekend before maybe the IT team catches on. And I have seen both good and bad responses. I have seen people call us up and say, oh, I just gave away my credentials on a Friday afternoon. And we were able to immediately go in, change their password, look for signs of compromise, make sure that there was no penetration, right? And nothing bad happened. And I've had people call us on a Monday and say, Friday afternoon, something weird happened. I thought I might have given away my password, right? And then sure enough, we go in and find all the damage that had been done over the weekend because they waited 3 days to tell us, right? So if you suspect you've been compromised, report it immediately.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'd like to beat the MFA drum again, because
Okay.
it still shocks me how many conversations we're having about clients that don't want to do multi-factor authentication. It's annoying. I don't want to put an executive in a situation where they've got to enter a code. I just want to keep it easy for them to just enter their password. And I get it. It can be annoying, but personally, you do it every time you log into your bank. You do it every time you log into many, many websites. We certainly need to get past the point of, I don't want to do it because it's annoying, and do it because you know it's the right thing to do. So in those scenarios where someone's calling on a Friday afternoon saying, oh my goodness, I just gave away their credentials. If they have multi-factor authentication in place, great. We've got multi-factor. When they get prompted by that person trying to use their credentials, they'll get a buzz on their phone. They know it's not them. Don't click to let them in. Change your password. Then we're back in good graces. We've got passwords changed. You've got MFA. You're protected. And then just to take it one step further, using unique passwords, so that if you accidentally gave away, use me as an example, I gave away bgregory@aldridge.com. That's my email, and I use the same password at work that I use everywhere else on the internet. Now, not only have I given them access to the network, I've given them access to everything else out there that they could go try on. So that's just a little plug to use unique passwords on everything that you're using. Use a password manager or something that's going to generate a unique password if you get tired of trying to keep coming up with them and keep coming up and remembering complex passwords. But first and foremost, have multi-factor authentication enabled for everything at the office.
Thank you, Brian. And I will just add to that the client I mentioned earlier who suffered an attack within the last hour, they were one of those clients who were resistant to implementing MFA and have not done so yet.
Yeah.
That the horse is out of the barn now, but they now may be more amenable to implementing MFA. All right. So, if you believe that your organization has suffered a successful attack, you can try and protect everyone else. Like, we can all work together. There's an easy website to go to, www.ic3.gov. It's the Internet Crime Complaint Center. And you can go report, this bad thing happened to us, right? And that will help, the U.S. government, who really are trying all the time to help us. It'll help them keep track of what's happening where, identify threat actors, and put them into groups so that they know that these attacks are coming from this location. So it can be helpful if you would do that. So, as I said, use the phishing report button, right? If you think you've been compromised, report it immediately, because every minute counts. And then the last thing is, what if you're uncertain? What if you just don't know? Is it, well, it could have been legit. It might not have been legit. I'm not sure if an incident has occurred or not. I see something weird happening on my computer, right? Err on the side of caution, right? Call a trusted person or your IT team. And when I say call a trusted person, imagine you got one of those emails that said you must do something immediately, right? You need to, maybe call that person on the phone and say, did you really send me this email? Or have you been compromised maybe, right? So err on the side of caution, call a person you trust or call your IT team.